When you come from a family like ours, you get a real deep appreciation and love for many different types of cars. G'day, I'm Dan Bowden, and I'm a wee bit of a car fanatic, and this is one of the great loves of my life, the 1964 Falcon Sprint. The Falcons actually have a very good racing pedigree, and I find them quite interesting. They were before the Mustangs actually came into play, and Ford campaigned them in '63. They raced them in the Monte Carlo Rally over in Europe. Then in 1964 they went back and they got a better arc. Holman and Moody built these cars up. Alan Mann ran them. They had their secret up their sleeve, which was the Swedish rally ace, Bosse Ljungfelt. Bosse in that rally pretty much won every single stage. However, due to the handicap system, Paddy Hopkorp's Mini ended up going through and winning it outright. But Bosse was the moral victor. In 1966, the Falcons became eligible to race in the British Touring Car Championship, but it wasn't until 1967 when Alan Mann actually came back into the field, and he had his star driver, Aussie Frank Gardner. They dominated. Frank won the British Touring Car Championship, and Frank's one of my biggest heroes, and from him winning that championship, I've always lusted after a genuine 1964 Falcon Sprint. I first got the Sprint about 18 years ago. It was a deal we did through Kevin Bartlett. Kevin had a good friend who'd sadly passed away, and he was looking for a new home, someone that would look after and love the car as much as this fellow did. And he gave us a call, and we did a deal not long after and bought the car. KB made a few changes to the suspension, upgraded it, just all period sort of stuff you would actually do, just in keeping with its racing pedigree. The previous owner liked to do rallies and sprints and events like that in the car, and the modifications he's made has made the car a lot better to drive. The engine's been tickled a little bit as well, just over 300 horsepower, nothing major, but gets it along better than what they did from out of the factory. The Falcon is one of the cars we actually use to help us develop the car care, and currently I'm using it with the new version of the Wheelie Keen formula. Small little upgrades our chemist has made to it, and we've always got to test and evaluate on our own cars before we put it in bottles. So I've been running out around the countryside in the old girl, which is a bit of fun. Come back, all the brake dust is there on the front wheels, spray it down with the Wheelie Clean, let it sit for about a minute or two, and hose it with the gurney. And that way we don't ever have to scrub the wheels, and the amount of time that saves is just bloody brilliant. A lot of my friends hop in the car and they always say, "Hey man, where's your stereo?" It's still got the original AM radio fitted to the old girl. And as we always cruise the car windows down, and it's like, why do you need a stereo? Listen to that beautiful V8 noise. I can pick up one station, 4KQ in Brisbane. They play Saturday night 60s, and I hope they're listening because never ever stop that. It's just perfect in keeping a period with the car. It's one of the best times to take it out for a drive. I've always loved the lines of the 64 Falcon. It's just after the curve lines, the 63. It's leading into the Mustang and the performance era, and it's just a bit of a tougher, more angular look, and I'm a big fan of it. Whenever you pull up at a servo or one of the shops, you always get a few people come up asking questions. It looks familiar to them. The roofline, of course, is very similar or the same as an XM XP Falcon hardtop here from the 60s. However, those angular lines underneath that confuse them all. And a lot come up, is it a Galaxy, is it a Fairlane? They realise it's a Ford, but they don't quite get the model. And every now and then someone will pick up, hey, that's a US Falcon. Not a muscle car as per se, it's certainly not a race car, but I actually like to refer to it as a sporting cruiser. It's something that's got a bit of go in it, still good around all the whiny stuff, but it's actually good as well just to go for that afternoon and evening cruise. It's the best thing about owning a classic car is actually getting out there and using it. And I do my best to get the Sprint out there as much as possible. It just brings that big smile onto my face, just hopping in behind it. I just love the thing. It's just such a gorgeous car to drive.